Hello, all. It is Becky, and I am joined by the lovely Amber, and we are here to do Thirsty Thursdays. My drink is a non alcoholic sangria today. I don't have a snack because I ate all of it yesterday when I was sick. So, all I got is a sangria and my dinner that's over there cooling. But this week, we're going to talk about inspiration and the senses. So, based on whatever type of learner you are, that's usually going to be the type of inspiration that you are going to be more akin to. Like, you know, how people like remember faces more or remember names more, you know, that type of thing. But we're going to start it off by talking about the different projects that we're working on right now. Me, I'm working on trying to finish the my first book in my Holy Water series, called Shaken, Stirred, and on the Rocks. I'm trying to finish it and be done and published by my birthday in May. And Amber, what are you working on?
I gave up trying to make my freaking cover fit KDP, so I guess I'm just going to type on unknown happiness till my frustration goes down.
Yeah. And did you get the picture that I sent you of the front cover? I didn't do the spine or the back cover.
Yeah, right now I'm just trying to see what it is that's holding me up, because like I was telling you earlier, I put it to all the specifications. I did everything everybody said, like the templates and stuff, to make sure it was right, and it's just pushing it down instead of making it fit the dimensions. So, because I think it would fit the dimensions if it would go up a quarter of an inch. So, I don't know. If I can ever make it work, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about that after the feed, because I've been wanting to try and finish up the one that I was making you. But anyway, so as far as the senses and our inspirations, what type of learner are you? Like, what type, like, are you someone that takes a lot of notes? Are you someone that usually takes an audio like a recorder device with you to classes? Or are you just someone that needs to look at the chalkboard to see you know, what's going on, or look at the lessons and see pictures or artwork or something?
I think if I had a different set of type of teachers in school, I probably would be different. But growing up, all my teachers were very note oriented, and so I got into that habit and found it easier to remember stuff later, because I would write the notes that they would say, or they would have me write down, and then I'd have like my own notes in the side. And being a single mom to a very active kid, I find that it's easier for me to remember, because my brain is so hectic and I have so much to remember, to write it all down, because I just keep it all in one notebook and it's there to find.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I have my sticky notes. They literally saved my life, because I have MS, so I forget everything. So I have to write down pretty much everything. And but I also have attention issues, so I have to have music or something to dull out what I'm saying, or I have to say it to myself so I remember that I'm trying to focus on something. So in a way, I'm kind of auditory and visual when it comes to that. But that's mostly like I have to drown out everything else around me, or else I'll get off track. Like right now, Phoebe's playing video games, and I'm like trying to think, like, what the hell is she talking about? But it takes a bit to get used to. But so as far as, since we both are basically visual, what are your favorite things to get inspiration from visually?
Oh, anything. I guess I'm really simple in that I love the outdoors, and I pretty much like, I'm very different in that most people will never look up, where I'm always noticing little details above me, and just architecture from renovating my whole life. I'll see the way something curves, or a period of like the craftsman period, and just like that type of thing that will always spark some idea. So, like an Unknown Happiness, they buy a house as craftsmen, and I just remember all the houses I went in and looked in and renovated as a kid, and adding those details is not something that I'm making up. It's things that I remember and I think enhance the story and build the world building better than most would be able to if you just imagine it.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of times with the world building, you got to like live it and then be able to say, okay, I want it to go this way.
Yeah.
With me, it was artwork. Artwork, like historical artwork or fantasy artwork. That's my thing. And I even like have a folder full of artwork. And if I get stuck, I will just go through that folder and say and think I'm going to write a story around just one picture, and it can be a picture of this massive castle surrounded by dragons or a demon or something like that, or even historical drawings of torture devices. And yes, I'm that bitch. But another thing that I love to get inspiration from visually are tarot cards. That's why I'm really hooked on doing the tarot series that I'm doing on my channel, and going on Pinterest and looking up spreads and making spreads of my own, because it's not only inspirational for the message that the cards that I deal out are telling me, but also what I see on the cards themselves. And it tells me exactly what I'm trying to it tells me what I'm trying to think of, and then I can be like, okay, so what is this card trying to tell me, without even looking at maybe the definition or like the meaning behind it. So eh, that's good for right now. We can go ahead and do a sprint in 3 minutes. So we may as well use the next 3 minutes to do another sense. Since I'm a little auditory and we to listen to music when we do our writing and stuff. So what, I guess, sort of like sound based inspiration do you like to listen to?
I've definitely found in general I like everything, but like when I'm writing, I love movie scores. And I love Pandora. Journey has a lot of that, and I absolutely love it. Um, and I'll just put that on depending on what scene I'm at and things like that. Um, it really does help.
I never thought to get movie scores, and I love like the movie score from Van Helsing. I
Mm-hmm.
have it on my phone as my ringtone, and I'm just like, I love that because it's so hype. So whenever I have like a fight scene or even a torture scene, I will have like that. I will have that in my mind, but I don't think about putting it on my listen list. I need to do that.
Yeah, I've always like at first like I love Beethoven and Bach and stuff like that. I love classical, especially when I'm having one of my migraines. And I put it on Pandora, and one day it came up with a different type of uh, or a different artist. And Two Steps from Hell, if you have never heard of them, I've got to say they have the best just theatrical fight scene sounding, and then it'll go into something sad, and it'll go back to a fight scene. Just reminds me of like 300, and it is just the best. Like I put that on Pandora, and I will listen to it for 3/4 of the book. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah. So,
I am so sorry for the coughing. Good God.
But then, yeah, I mean, no matter what I'm doing in the day, I have to have music. I mean, like where I work is very loud, and it gets monotonous, and I don't know, with my migraines as easy as I get them, like I find that I have to have music just to keep my brain focused on what I'm doing. So
With me, I like um lyrics. Um start the sprint because my coughing's not going to stop. So let's go ahead and start the sprint. 10, How long are we going to do it? 15 or 10 minutes?
It doesn't matter to me.
We'll do 10.
All right.
Okay, 10 minutes. Let's get to writing.
I can't spell today.
All right, time to be done with the sprint.
Right.
And what I was going to say before my body started hating me was was that one of my two favorite bands right now are Poets of the Fall and Breaking Benjamin. And I like the melody, but I also like the lyrics. So since I try to listen to something, try to focus on something, I try to focus on the lyrics. And that tells me, that helps me get into the scene. So I put songs in, I actually use Spotify. I used to use Pandora, but for some reason I wanted to try Spotify, and apparently they have a way that they can, if you put it on your wherever you have a whole lot of your music at, you can actually put that on your list. And I thought that was really cool. So that's what I'm going to be probably using exclusively for my music. But I do also use YouTube, or at least that's what I was using before I got onto Spotify. And I'm basically going to transfer all the songs from my YouTube playlist onto my Spotify. But that's like if I'm really into a scene and I really need to just get into it and I'm really having trouble, I'll pull up one of those. So we covered sight and sound. And one that might not be very clear as far as finding inspiration for writing maybe would be taste. But I would think that would be like an off kind of thing to get inspired by. mostly for finding inspiration for something specific. Like if you go into like an urban area maybe, and you need to be able to get the sensory um, interaction. Maybe there is a factory nearby, and there's like a bitter taste of chemicals, or like you're in a car and you can taste the chemicals there, or um, um, even tasting your own saliva because you're building it up because like you smell warm baking bread, or sometimes I get inspired by cooking, and I like to use cooking in my novels too. So because cooking and different flavors of food can also bring out like nostalgic kind of feelings. So do you happen to have any type of um like um taste bud, or yeah, taste bud kind of sensory, things that you would be like, this reminds me of, whatever.
Yeah, I think we all have like a certain food or something that reminds us of when we were kids or back home or whatever. But it's kind of funny because the production plant I work at, like a half a mile down the street, there's a cereal factory. And so when they're burning off all their excess, it just smells so sweet and so good. And I swear every day it just reminds you of something different. And yeah, so like a lot of times I'll be walking into work and be like, I'll smell the air and be like, oh, cinnamon toast crunch, or and it'll just, I don't know. Sometimes I'm too tired, it won't do it. But I mean, other times like it'll remind me of some certain cereal or sweet or something that I was eating at a certain time. I was doing something, and just bring back good memories. And I think we probably all have that. But yeah, I mean, to your point of like when you go new places or you try different things, and not just reminding you of the past, but like, oh, well, this would be really great if like I was actually, in this country eating this, and like,
Yeah.
maybe it reminds you of a picture you've seen in that country or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that can give you ideas really well.
Mm-hmm. And food can also tell you a lot about the culture. If you're trying to if you have an issue with world building, and you're trying to maybe even tie it to a real life culture, maybe trying the food that you're trying to have it be akin to will help, bring some inspiration. Like if the flavors are very spicy, if they're very pungent, that maybe this type of herb is around them a lot, and that this is the smell that they would have throughout the whole house or something. It's just that's what I'm trying to do with this stream, is really just talk about things that you might not think about as far as what to get inspiration for. Next one, I guess, is touch, and that's also something that you wouldn't really think about, but the way that certain things feel on your skin, whether it be good or bad, they stick in your mind really easily. For me, it's when I'm because I just started getting into sewing, so I get really like sensitive on my fingertips when I try to sew, because I'm not trying to lose like a pin or a needle or something. So I really try and focus on the slight touches of metal and stuff. And or when I'm writing, I'll focus my sensation of feeling and stuff to like my forearm instead of on my wrist, because I have slight carpal tunnel in my hand, and it helps me relax my hand so I don't clench my pencil as tight, so I won't drop it or whatever.
Yeah.
There's also like not so good feelings, like if like you try and take a shower and the water's too hot, or you try to go and cook something and the stove's hot, or you just get pricked by a flower or something. I think the last time I really got inspired by touch was I think every time I wear one of Ryan's sweatshirts, because he always has the kind of furry lining inside. So, like, whenever I give him a hug, I always feel the furry lining, and it makes me feel like cozy and warm, and reminds me of those fleece blankets.
Yeah.
So, how about you?
Um, I think a lot of things are touch oriented. Because like if like you said, you get close to something hot, you're going to immediately be drawn to things, feelings of danger and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and caution, and then
Yeah, because it sparks different emotions.
yeah, like when I'm petting my cats, it can remind me of my hair or my daughters or things like that. But I guess my biggest one is I love the feel of silk.
Ooh,
Just something about it just relaxes me. And so
uh-huh.
I literally, weird me, I have silk curtains in my living room, and sometimes I will just like rub my hands down on just like if I'm having a bad day, and just like it zens me. I don't know.
I have these head rags, and my daughter has satin pillowcases for her hair. It just reminds me of like fragility.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Let me think.
Well, and then my thing is like there's so many different like if you notice if you use the sheets a lot, like there's different thread counts, and so different ones feel differently, and some are coarser and some are silkier and more fragile feeling. And I don't know, for me every like thread count just, I don't know, evokes different feelings. Some are more fragile, some are harder, things like that.
What's the last one? I'm trying to remember. Smell. I mean, we've touched on smell already, so
Yeah.
I think we can move on. But
What are those?
we can do another spread. Let me see.
Hang on a second. I don't know. So you can't cook. We got no water. He's like, why do we not have water? Well, it's not freezing cold out, so nothing's frozen.
Oh yeah, we've had the pipes freeze before. That sucks.
Well, yeah, I mean, it gets down to like 15, 20 every night. It gets cold. We have to drip the water, but yeah, like I don't know what happened. I took a shower at 5:30 and we had water pressure, and neighbors were like, "Do you have water pressure?" And I'm like, "No." And she just checked the water, and we have like no water at all.
Nice.
So I don't know what happened. I don't even know who to call for that.
I guess a plumber, but
Well, no, I mean if it's out in the area, it's not like you can call like the power people. I don't know. Life. What are you gonna do?
another thing that I thought of about touch is like you have a lot of romance in your novels. I mean, that's basically what your genre is, paranormal romance. So that would be very touch oriented, I would believe, because the skin, the touch of lip, even something as odd as the way that things touch across the skin or the ear or the side, the neck, I would think that would be very, especially like touch and smell and
Well, see, in like not in all the novels, but like in Unknown Love, it's a vampire. So as he gets older, his senses are heightened. So yeah, I mean, all of that plays. And then with Unknown Family, it's in the forest. So you've got the prickliness of pine and the smells of the trees and the different flowers and river grass, swaying along with the feel of the stream and everything, and the clothes that they wear are made of reeds and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely, the senses definitely play a role in all my novels. So I mean, I don't go overboard or anything, but yeah, I mean, just smelling the sweet grass and things like that.
I wanted smell to really take a lot of, um, you know, be a lot to the forefront. Also, um, the the different ways of sight can affect someone in the book. Like in the there's the scene with the burlesque. You got glittering all over the dress, and watching the way the dancer is dancing, and um in that scene, Ramona has a basically like a offense, not offense, but a negative reaction to another magic user,
Yeah.
the fortune teller,
Yeah.
and basically it causes her to have really bad, a really bad cold sensation in her stomach. More, yeah, more so like in the stomach and the solar plexus area. And it's so uncomfortable to her, and she can't escape it until she takes a drink of this wine that she didn't know about until basically her I'm not going to say her adopted mother, because it's not her adopted mother, more so like a mentor type person in her life bought it, and she loved the taste of it. But in this way, it's more of a remedy, and it brings her back to business as usual. But in that way, feeling the feelings that she has can be, I don't know, I was trying to make it in a way that maybe it would
Yeah, you definitely will.
yeah, I was trying to make it so that it's something that maybe people have felt before, but feeling a cold sensation in the stomach, unless you like swallow a bunch of ice for no reason, you probably wouldn't feel that. But you know what? We all know what an uncomfortable cold sensation is, especially if you've been outside in the past few days. But
well, and even when you first start the novel and she's killing the first guy, like,
oh yeah,
you have really good use of senses there, because you describe the sight of what she's doing to the guy, and you describe the smell of the chemicals and her magic. And I mean, it's, to me, you have perfect control of using the senses and not going overboard, to where, like, I smell it too and want to gag, but to the point, like, I get it, I get that smell, I get what that feels like and things like that. So I mean,
well, thank you.
I think some people, sometimes in any novel, things can go overboard when they're trying to describe it or trying to get you in that scene. There's a very fine line of too much and not enough.
My thing is, like, I had this book. The cover was amazing. I don't want to shame the book, but seriously, the book cover was amazing. If I knew the author and I knew who did the cover, I wouldn't want to go through who they went through. But the story was crazy bad, because they went into detail about the sexual nature of everything, and it was coming off like a paranormal romance. But at the beginning of the story, there's this whole thing about the person trying to get revenge off of people, and there's only a sprinkling that through the whole story. Like, I get
the plot.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the plot. Like, so I'm trying to figure that out, and everybody has a problem with that. And I don't think it's more of a sagging middle. It's more so you get off topic because you really want to showcase this part.
Yeah.
But you have a plot that you have to stick with, but you want to really showcase it.
Yeah, like, kind of like your sideline becomes your main line.
Like, they initially went at it from a regular epic type deal, and then they were like, well, I really want to talk about the romance. I think that's the most important part of the book. Well, then why not just focus on the romance bit? Just focus on romance. That's fine. I can deal with a romance book, but I can't deal with you saying that there's this epic revenge plot and this epic action scene at the beginning of the book, and there's like literally almost no action except for the action of these two people.
Kind of like the side story took on the main story. Yeah.
I'm an adult. I can deal with romance and sex and all that, but I cannot deal with it if you tell me that there's revenge and action and then all I get is sex and romance and how this person looks. Like, I don't give a damn.
It'd be like trying to say my novels are horror and only horror is at the end.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like 3 pages in, the person would close the book and be done.
Yeah.
I was in it for like 7 to 8, like between 7 to 10 chapters in. And I was so mad that I was just like, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find some more action. And because I'm a Taurus, so I'm really stubborn. I'm just like, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna fucking find it. And never did. I was mad because I wanted it because it was so good at the beginning, and then it just fell off. And that's where a lot of inspiration needs to come from, because once you have an outline, you need to have an outline for those type of situations, because if you get off track too much, you're going to lose your reader. And then you got to stay inspired to finish the plot and finish that out first.
And even if you're a straight pantser, like at some point after you finish the book, you have to go back and say, okay, this was the main plot. Did it carry all the way through? Did I let anything else take it over at any point? And make sure that your focus is still there. I mean, you can't just pants the whole thing and then do an edit and go, okay, it's done. I don't care what it looks like, what it, you know.
I mean, it doesn't. The main thing, whether you have an outline or not, you know what the focus of your scene is, and if you stay in that focus, then the reader should be able to stay in focus. But if you're not focused, how do you expect the reader to be focused on it? You don't want to be focused on it. So that's my thing. If you want to be focused on romance, be focused on romance. I'd be fine. But if you're going to be focused on this revenge stuff that I was looking for, where it at though?
So we're both stubborn. I'm going to ask you this. Do you read the whole book hoping you find it eventually, or it gets back on topic eventually, or do you at some point say, I'm done?
I got time for that. I want to, and probably back in the day, or if I have Audible for it, like it's an audiobook, I probably will. But most of the time, no. That's what I was like. I usually stay in for maybe like 5 chapters.
Yeah.
For a book that I don't like. But this one, I was mad. So I stayed in it. I was just like, I'm going to find it. And then when I find it, then I'm going to shut this damn book.
Well, see, and I'm asking because there was this really good author, really well-known author that came out with a book. And I'm not going to say the book or the person or the author in case somebody likes it and just thinks I'm crazy.
Right, that's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah, but the book was supposed to be really acclaimed and really good. And it was outside of my genre range that I usually read. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not getting it. And by the time I got halfway through the book, I was like, you know what? I'm going to read the reviews on this. And a lot of people had the same opinion that, like, the storyline was good, but it just wasn't there. It didn't stay on topic enough.
Yeah.
What was happening. It focused on the one thing that this person was fixated on, which I guess kind of would have carried the story, but at the same time, because it's something that's like evolving or whatever. And but it was supposed to, the story that the blurb said it was supposed to outline this girl and her thing going on, not her thing with this thing. Like she discovers something and it becomes smarter or whatever, and it just became more about the thing than about her. And I was like, this is not what I signed up to read. Like,
yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah, and it's disheartening when that happens because it just seems like that they weren't in it. Like they weren't in it to go that route. But that's what you got us in for.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
where
like,
it at?
I wanted to read about this girl in a post-apocalyptic thing, and all I got was this blob that transforms into stuff and grows and gets smarter, and I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. I mean, not really what I signed up for. I can go watch The Blob and watch shit get bigger. I mean,
right?
I don't know.
But so here lies, I guess, the dilemma. If you are inspired to turn the book into a different direction, do you start with that and then maybe sprinkle it as a subplot, or do you just continue on the way that you have gone and just put more of the part that you may not be totally into but that was there at the beginning?
Well, I mean, for me, I kind of have that. That did happen to me because the original Unknown Revenge was too many characters, too many plots. I wanted to do them all, and eventually I had to just say no. I'm straying into four different side stories. I'm not. This plot is not staying on course, and it's getting too confusing to keep up with every plot. And I had to seriously sit there and decide, like, okay, if I gave everyone their story, would they all each have a plot? Would they all have their side plots and it still make a story? What would I keep in this book? What would I take out and put in other books? And I'm not gonna lie, it took a good year to decide how much I wanted to keep in the original book and how many characters could just go away and how many characters would create their own books.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there was just too much going on. There was too many side plots, and it was so bogged down. The main plot just got overshadowed, and I
Yeah.
didn't want that.
And I'm having that's one of the reasons why I needed to work on the book today, because I'm finding that a couple of one of my characters is being drowned out by the plot, and it's not really showing him in the right light like I wanted to. And then um the different dreams I have in the book are really disassociating from the plot as well. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't go way too far off course, but I'm trying to make everything sync together. But since
Well,
we are at quarter till, did you want to go ahead and do another sprint for 10?
yeah, we can do that and then close up.
Yeah. All right. So let's begin. All right. 10 minutes.
All right.
All right. So we basically have finished our conversation as far as sensories, blah, 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 senses go. Word.
Words.
Um, so I know next Monday got your feed, your stream on your channel, and of course the Tortured Author on Tuesday. I don't think I have anything coming that's pressing. I might do a tarot spread for Tuesday. I might work on that over the weekend. But yeah, anything else that you want to plug or talk about?
Other than that, we have. I think what else? Every day we have started. You weren't able to join in on that on last Mondays, but we started. Our stream went crazy stupid.
Yeah.
So we started a hashtag journey to publications chat. And I just started randomly posting a question a day. And if Jaz has one, she does, and if you have one, you can. So we have that every day, and if we don't post a question, you are welcome to post one as anybody that joins, and we will all have fun answering that.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
With newbie writers or anything, feel free to post questions with the hashtag journey to publication, and I will even go on there and type some random bullshit like don't publish with dirty manuscript. Dirty papers.
Oh,
that sounds like Tandra.
And then next week I will have a vlog of Kira's second, because this week I posted her first. So her second competition and things we did afterwards and things like that. So yeah, look forward to that.
Cool. Okay. So you guys, if you guys are not subscribed to Amber, I will link her page below once the stream is over. But other than that, if you like watching us do the Thirsty Thursday chats and you want to participate, feel free to join us every Thursday or every other Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my name is Becky, writer name RN Simpson. So feel free to look me up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And yeah, next time I'll be here will probably be next Tuesday or Wednesday for your weekly wisdom bit. And this is Phoebe. Phoebe's been a little tired lately, so she's probably gonna head to bed. So is Mommy. I'm tired. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and get to writing. Say bye.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We got a couple more chats before that.
there's a little bit before that. All right. Bye, guys.